Hello everyone, I am Ked. I am the second reporter, so I'm going to discuss this to you. So in a vertical ledger, that columns represent room numbers. Then, yung sa mga rows, gi-represent siya to different categories of charges. Debit charges yaon sa taas. Then, debit charges yaon sa ubos. In this format, kiandam siya to prepare the guest bill. Importante ang tabular ledger. It helps siya to monitor and control a business financial operations of the hotel. Furthermore, it also provides the tools for the analysis of accounts and transactions. Then, using the tabular ledger, whichever format is used, a number of operations can be carried out using the tabular ledger. So the first that is, at the beginning of each day, current occupancies will be carried forward in a room order. But when a new guest check in, a new sub entry will simply be added to the end of the list. So, in my perspective also, literal meaning, in every day, yaw ay mag-check in, yaw isab mag-check out. That day, so, it is basically means that magpadayon sila to stay sa hotel. That day, so ang occupancy rate magpadayon isab. However, may mga bag-o sa gayud na mo check-in. An ila file or occupancy file madugang as pinakalas dugang sa exist na daan na files nan mga guests na yaka-check-in pa. Then, ang current na naka-check-in sa hotel will going to proceed or progress with dependings sa room orders. So, that's it. Then, the second one is room charges for new guests can be entered or check-in, and all other room charges entered at a set time of the 6 p.m. So bali, ang mga sukto na room charge sa mga bag-ong nag-check-in, i-charge na daan or isud na kibali sa ilahang bill sa pag-check-in, o ang mga iba na mga charges sa kwarto isud siya sa bill ng guest sa isa ka gitakda na oras na adlaw. So, that's it. Then, other charges are posted periodically as vouchers come in from other departments, with the vouchers being crossed through ones they have been dealt with. So debit charges, ibali yaon ang list ng payments kung pila ang ibayad. For instance, sa mga rooms na may drinks, haud yaon, may mini ref, tapos kibali nga to ka mukuha ng snacks, magdagdag yaon siya sa debit charges mo, kay kibali dili siya libre, tapos dili sab siya free, especially sa hotels na everyday nag-check-in, everyday may ga-check-in sa mga rooms. Then maghatag sab sila ng vouchers sa guests para mahibaw-an kung uno da ang gibaydan, para sa dili sab magkalibog. And then, credit charges are also periodically as prepayments or allowances are made. So, ini na ang final vouchers before settlement of payments. It's either you pay for half lang muna, then mag full payments ka upon checkout. Then sa all entries na kita, all entries to be tabular ledger will be copied to the guest bill. It's either manually or using duplication sheets with a vertical tabular ledger. So, from the word itself, ledger, notes, siya or receipt. Kibali ang tabular ledger, makapi siya sa baydunon non-guess. So, then amounts in the transfer to ledger column are copied to the city ledger. So, when copying a ledger to city ledger, ang staff dapat i-check niya it first before himuon to prevent event that might ruin such transactions. Ang mga staff sa hotel dapat i-make sure niya that both ledger must be equal. So, then at the end of each day, the tabular ledger must be balanced. That is, they record accuracy by verifying that everything tallies. So, when doing the tabular ledger, both credit and debit side must be balanced or equal it. Dapat i-check gayud para i-balance ba siya or dili. Lead to proving that they're doing their job accurately. Then when the guests check out, the bill is totaled and the top copy presented for payment. Once the guest has paid, the payment is entered as a financial credit charge and the tabular ledger. The account is then totaled and balanced. The total debit charge equals the amount billed equals the total credit charge, leaving a zero balance outstanding. So, pagkatapos ng completion of billing procedure, HD transactions is carried by a ninth auditors. The account of guests is calculated and carried down in a new ledger for the next date, which is usually closed when the guests check out from the hotel. So the next is we have the advantages and disadvantages of tabular ledger system. So advantages of tabular ledger is the first, that is cheap and simple to use. Then the second one is flexible, as headings can be inserted as required. Easy to check by balancing. So easy ko na sa i-check by balancing. Then disadvantages, time consuming making entries. Dako na oras ang masayang. Then the second one is requires manual calculations, time consuming and subject to error. So sa disadvantages, mag-require siya ng manual calculator or mano-mano da siya of using calculator. Once na i-calculate nila ang isa ka i-calculate nila ang amount ng isa ka guest. Tapos dako sa bang oras na masayang. Then the last one is requires additional time for checking balancing bill preparation. So amo ini siya ang advantages o disadvantages ng tabular ledger. Then if you see this, amo siya ang gitawag na guest ledger. So amo ini ang guest ledger means any and charges accrued to the open accounts of any guest or customer at the hotel. Then whether secured by some form of payments or unsecured, for all in-house hotel guests remaining as a closing date. Then so the city ledger. The city ledger is the ledger in which front office records payments owing by credit customers who are not themselves registered guests with the hotel. So a functions or organizer may put down a deposit on a banquet. A local company may keep an open account at the hotel for entertaining and or accommodating visiting clients. So in my perspective is the city ledger contains the accounts of resident guests who have left the hotel without settling their accounts, which would be settled at a later date by a third party, maybe a credit card company, an airline, or maybe a co-offered house or a travel or so machine billing systems. Billing machines were introduced in the 1950s, at which stage they were electromechanical, relying on gears and cogs powered by an electrical motor. More modern equivalents are electronic. Billing machines essentially fulfill the same function as a convenient bill tabular ledger entry system, except that they carry out the calculation for you. So, in machine billing system, it helps the management lessen their time consuming on a particular doings, which could be done through machine. Just like tabulating something, although we can do sa pananatukuman, which technologies are being invented. So, mapadali ng ato mga trabahoon or mga lihokon, which technologies are already invented na yahimo na siya. So, mapadali ang ato isa ka trabaho, isa ka himoonon sa works. So dili na kita gaano makapuyan. Then so instead of tabular ledger record, the machine stores the various charges in a register and prints out a summary sheet of the cumulative totals for each category. Department. The transactions are listed on an audit rule, allowing checking if necessary. So, then the second dot is guest bills or guest folios are printed out, usually in duplicate seats, the top copy being presented to the guests and the sheet beneath retained for the hotel's record. So, ang tabular ledger, ginagamit ini siya sa mga management para mapanatili or ma-steal ang mga records ng tanan transaction sa panahon. Sa panahon nag-i-stay ang isa ka guest or isa ka customer sa hotel. So, ang mga himuon ng isa ka management is para dili madugay is i-print out the kantanan documents. Gihimo sab ini siya para in the future para dili siya madugay if ever na maghanap ng mga document. Then, on check-in, the operator types the guest details at the head of a blank folio card and inserts the folio into the machine. The folio is opened by entering the room number and the opening balance, 0 or a negative number if a deposit or prepayment has been made. So of course, ang first himuon ng isa ka hotel once na may mag-check-in sa ila is to interview the guests for safety purposes or future purposes, like kung ano ila name, ano pangan nila, kung tagahain sila, o kung pila ka day sila mag-stay or mag-check-in sa hotel. After that, pwede na mo proceed ang mga guests sa ilahang room. Pero of course, i-explain sab ang ilahang mga charges na ilahang baydan kung mag-check-in na sila to avoid conflict. Kung yung ibang siguro na hotel na magpahibaw sila ng charges yung iban siguro na hotel na magpahibaw sila ng mga charges kung ang isa ka guest mag-check out na. So, dili yun siya appropriate. So, dapat gayud before pa sila mag-check-in, ipahibaw na daan ang mga charges para iwas complicated or iwas gubot ang mahitabo. And then, when charges are posted, the relevant folio and vouchers are inserted into the machine. The billing machine stores the transaction amount in its memory, prints each item on the guest folio and creates a new balance, prints the same item with a room number of an audit rule, which can be checked against voucher and the relevant or queries, and cancels the voucher by overprinting it. And then, at the end of the day or shift, the machine print out a summary of the hotel. Prints out of summary of the total balance carried forward from its previous summary, total debits, total credits, and total balance carried forward. These figures can then balance as per a tabular ledger. And then on check out, the guest folio is inserted into the machine and the operator enters the amount of payments or transfer to the ledger account. The machine prints out the final guest folio. So on check out, the guest folio is inserted into the machine and the operator enters the amount of payment or transferred to the ledger account. The machine prints out the final guest folio. So, at the end of the day, i-calculate or i-summary ng staff ang tanan expenses na gamit ng isa ka guest para sa ma-aware sila kung pila ang ilaya consume nang ga-check-in sila sa isa ka lugar or sa isa ka hotel. And para malikayan ang gubot or lalis is i-print out nila ang mga copies na ipakita sa guest para waray pagduda na mahitabo. So, that's the end of my discussion. Hope you guys will understand. Thank you.